Hey everybody, and welcome to your first major assignment, the blog on WordPress.com for CPT202. I'm excited for you to jump into this first project. It can be a little complicated. It is technical. That's why you're learning how to do this. But if you follow along in this, we'll make sure you hit all the requirements in the assignment, which are listed in the project description. And also make sure you can follow this walkthrough. We'll walk you through each step. We'll make sure everything works. And that way you can get full credit on this assignment when you submit it. So to get started, you're going to be at WordPress.com. Make sure you're not on WordPress.org. Big, difference there. The .org is what you install on a server. .com, you're going to host it for free. Again, big thing here, for free on their site. So we're going to get started by getting everything ready to go and building out that site. So start your website. You're going to select that from the middle. Now, what you're going to see here is you have the ability to continue with Google. You should do this. This will actually allow you to use your finlandia.edu address, so you don't need a new username, you don't need a new password. You can log directly in, which is what I'm going to do here. Password's already in there. And now we're going to get to that first hurdle about payment. What you're going to look at here is choosing a domain. Now, they're going to try and sell you a domain, but you can use a free one. So to do this, put your first and last name, CPT202, in the box. This is going to search. Now, this free for first year. This is pay. This is pay. WordPress.com, free. It might add some numbers, different things. Don't worry about that. Just you want to make sure you have it say free. Then you're going to select it. Now, again, they want you to buy hosting. Ignore that. Free. Up in the top right, start with a free site. You're going to click that. Now, what you notice here is they want you to start building. They're going to walk you through this. So one of the easiest ways to do this is actually to start building your content, and doing your website. So start building. That's what you want to do first. Now, this is going to allow you to select a theme. Now, you want to do something that's relatively clean. It's going to be a blog style, so feel free to look through these, but I don't want you to be too intimidated by what you select. Again, we're looking for something very clean. We're not focusing on the design aspects. We're focusing on the content. We'll worry about design when it comes to web design, your next project, but for this one, it's just about what you're writing and the content. So one that's really clean and easy to use is Spearhead. So I'm going to start with Spearhead. What this is going to do is it's going to install the theme for you, again, completely free, and get kind of everything ready for you to begin playing around inside of your blog. So it takes just a little bit here for it to actually configure and do the install. And once it's done, it takes you to the admin side or back end of WordPress. So this is where you're going to create and do all of the work for your website. So some things just to kind of familiarize yourself with, this left-hand menu. It's important because posts, that's something you're going to have to do. Pages, that's something you're going to have to do. And you might want to change the theme, which is done in Appearance. And we might have to mess with some settings, but we'll cover that in a bit. So the nice thing is here is it's going to actually walk you through some basics. So if you follow along up top, give your site a name. So let's name the site. This one, I'm just going to do my name, CPT202 blog. Feel free to put whatever you want in here. It's not that important. It's just good to have something on your site. So then save settings. So now that that's done, I'm going to go back to that home page, my home, left-hand menu. And now you get a checkbox. Now it says customize your site menu. And so this is going to actually let you add a menu to your site. Add menu. And this is going to open up kind of the core components of WordPress and make sure that you're actually going to have a menu that functions, because it's important to have that. So anytime it's going to walk you through customizations and things you can do here. So it's good to kind of keep those tips in mind and kind of think through those. You're going to look through these here, menus. And what you can see here is that it wants to select menu locations, and it's going to attach different menus for you. So you're going to start with create new menu, and we're just going to call this main. I'm going to put this in primary. And now these might change based on your template. So be aware that some of the stuff might be different. But if you're following along with this template, this is the process you're going to follow. Now we have primary navigation as your main. And the reason why this is important, we're going to save, is because that's where you're going to need to put your pages so that people can actually get to your blog and get to your About Me page. So I'm actually going to close out now using that X, and it took me back to the home page. Now, one of the things we want to look at is how do we get started with the assignment? So if you look at the requirements, we already have a WordPress.com site. We already have a template that we chose that looks good. Now we need to focus on the About You page. So we're going to go to Pages on the left-hand side, and we're going to go to All Pages. Now, as you can see, we don't have any pages yet. There's nothing there, and that's okay. We're going to then add a page, start a page. And what this is going to do is it's actually going to pull up a very blank-looking box for you to get started. And this is something that you're going to see pretty much anywhere in WordPress. They have different templates here that you can actually get started with. If you use one of those, that's fine, but then you have a lot of stuff you need to delete. So I'm actually going to select blank page just to show you the basics. Okay, so we have this here. It looks very nice. There's a sweet tutorial down here. Feel free to use that to get more comfortable. I'm going to skip it and just walk you through. So add a title. So this is going to be About Me. It's an About Me page. Pretty standard. Now, as you look in the requirements, it says you should have your name and a photo, why you came to Finlandia, and like a mini biography. So I'm going to just start with name. Put that in there. I'm going to do a why I came to Finlandia. And I'm going to leave it blank, but I could fill that in. And I'm just hitting enter to get to the next block here. And then biography. And now it looks pretty straightforward. You see this little plus sign down here. It lets you add a block. Well, it looks kind of funny because if I was to add an image, I can upload an image. I'm just going to grab my picture here. And now it's all in a row. And this looks kind of strange, right? It would look better if we had some sort of column set up. Well, the fun thing here is you actually have the ability to move things around and to set up columns if you want to. And so one way to do that is actually to go back to this plus sign. And if you go to Browse All, you can scroll down and see that columns is an option. So if I select columns and then I select this 70/30, now you can see I've got these blocks. Well, what should I do with these? Like, I could take some of the content from up here and I actually could move it down here. And that's, you can see like as I'm hovering in here, there's some different things that you can do in between the content. But what makes the most sense? Does it make sense to just grab and move things down? What do you want to do is totally up to you. And again, if you're fine with it all being in a row, you could do that too. It's really whatever you feel comfortable with. But if you want to move something, these dots, you can literally click and drag. And the blue line shows you where things are going. So it's one of those things that as you click in, you grab the dots and then you drag over. And now you can start to build things this way. So we're going to throw that in there. We're going to grab my name, put that in there. And now I've got a nice 2-column format. This looks pretty good. This would fulfill the requirements if I had written this stuff down. I'm going to go to publish. It's going to say, are you sure? Yes, 100% sure. Publish. And that completes the About You page that you need on the assignment. Now, one thing that you need to double check, however, is how do I get this onto that main menu? So I'm actually going to close the panel here. I'm going to go back to my view pages. We can see that it's been published. There's a page there. I'm going to go to my home just to make this easier for everybody. But we need to make sure that is now included in my menu. So if you go to appearance, and I'm just hovering, and go to menus, we're going to see that main menu that was included, and there's nothing in it. But you'll see the About Me page that you just created. You can add it to the menu. By doing that, I'm going to save it. Now there's a link for people to get from your homepage to that About Me page. This is a step that a lot of people forget. So if you're not seeing a page that you created, go to Appearance, go to Menus. It probably has to do with your menu configuration. Maybe the page isn't on there. That's how you're going to double check it. Now, if I want to go look at the site, I can click up here, and you'll see all of this information showed up. This is information that was there from the template, and this is where I said you're going to have to probably go in and clean some of this stuff up. You don't want template information in there. However, what I do want to point out is About Me is now in the menu. You can click it, and there's the About Me page. So it made it into the menu. It looks good. When I click to go back to the home page, though, we're going to have to clean up some information here. Now, the nice thing about that is we are going to actually use a bunch of your posts as your main content for your homepage. So I want to show you how to do that real quick. So I'm just going back to pages just to take a look. This is pages. Now when you go up to posts, here's that information. And we're just going to delete these right now. Send them to the trash. Now I have nothing in the posts. Looking at the requirement for the website here, you now have to have 10 posts. 2 posts with photos, 2 posts with videos, 2 that are like a product review, an event review, a sporting event, some sort of review that you see on a lot of blogs. And then you have 4 posts that can be whatever you want. They can include whatever you want. But you need to make sure you have 2 posts that have photos in it, 2 posts that have videos attached, and 2 posts that have those reviews. It's going to be 10 in total. So the published number here should say 10. But if you jump down a little bit here, you'll see that you actually need your last post as post number 11. So make sure that you have 11 published posts in here to get full credit in your assignment. So let's add a post and kind of play around just to show you a little bit. This is going to look very similar to the page. It's going to be that blank block style editor. So let's start off with why I chose Finlandia. And you could start writing in here. Pretty simple. If you want to add a photo, again, you're doing the blocks, so you can go to image. Say you want to add a video, you need to add 2. If you scroll all the way down, you're going to see YouTube. This lets you grab a URL from a YouTube video and embed it right in the post. So I'm just going to jump into YouTube here. This is a trailer video that I have for a class that I teach on Skillshare. I'm just going to copy and paste that over. And then I'm going to go in and paste it. Oh, it doubled up here. And I'm going to embed. And now we're going to have that video embedded right in there. So this is the way that you can do that. Again, if you're doing images, if you're doing the video parts, you can embed them right in here. So now if I go to publish, it's going to ask me, are you sure? Yes, of course. Always publish. Again, because you're working on an assignment, no one has your link. You can have things live whether you need them to be or not. It's just safer to do that. So I'm going to go back to my posts, and now I see one is published here. I'm going to do just a quick secondary post just to show you what this looks like. Just to make sure everything makes sense, I'm just going to call it post 2. You should obviously use a title, call it what you need to. One of the things to remember as well is if you're doing anything with links, they should be actual live links. So what to remember here is, so say you're going, let's just put Google in here. We want to make sure that this is actually a link. So when you highlight that, make it a link. Make sure everything is clickable, because that's the whole point, right? It's a website. So now that's a clickable link. That's important. Any links you have should be linked correctly so people can actually get to things when they're exploring your blog. You know, one of the big components there. Okay, so I'm going to go up to publish. We're just going to get this published real quick. And we're going to go back and take a look at the home page. So I'm going to click the W. I'm going to click the W again to make sure we can get back to the blog. So view posts. There we go. Go back to the main. And here we go. Both the posts have shown up. I can click into them to view the actual post. I can click here to go back to the home page. I can click on About Me. There's the About Me. Click to go back to the home page. And this is it. That's all you have to do. So you're going to have 11 posts. You're going to have the About You page. Make sure it is in the menu. You're going to have everything ready to go. Now, you're almost done. One of the things that you need to pay attention to is actually getting your site published, because right now it's not fully live. So I'm clicking back on home because it's one of the things that you want to make sure you get done. Everything in here is kind of in that edit mode and, being kind of strange. You can go visit your site and now it should be live. Make sure this is yourlink.wordpress.com. If for some reason when you go to that, it comes up saying not live, 404 error, it means you forgot to publish something. Make sure everything is published. Your pages are published. Your posts are published. You can leave these things in draft, and then it doesn't do you any good when it comes time for grading. So make sure everything's published. Go to Visit Site. It'll open in a new window, and that link is what you're going to submit to me on Canvas. That is the link you're going to send, because then I'm going to go to it and be able to see it. You're going to see Change Theme here, and you're going to see Launch. Launching the site is the final step. Launching the site, they're going to try and sell you one more time on a domain, skip purchase, skip again, free site, and now it is live for everybody to see. So make sure you actually do that. The coming soon should be gone in the left-hand side. So make sure everything's published. Make sure you actually launch your site. You launched your site. We're good to go. Now, when people go to it, it's going to actually load and work 100%. So make sure you're taking the time to double check everything, publishing, getting your menu set, and launching your site. If you do those, you'll get 100% on this assignment. I'm hoping that you all enjoy learning the ins and outs of blogging. If you have any questions, please reach out early. Send me a message through Canvas. Send me an email. Make sure that I can connect with you and walk you through, help you out wherever you might get stuck. Don't wait until the last minute to reach out. If you're reaching out Sunday night at 10 o'clock, there's a chance that I'm not going to be able to help you before that deadline. So hope you enjoy this. It's a fun way to start with blogging. Most blogs nowadays use WordPress, so this is a great skill to have in any sort of business or marketing profession. You're probably going to run into WordPress at some time or another. All right, enjoy the assignment. Get it submitted into Canvas. Get it submitted early. Get this off your plate. And I hope you all enjoy learning how to blog.